problems. So at least then she can have a copy of the recording, because I know she's still having problems with sound. So where should we go first? Can we come to you first then, Lana, and look at what you've been doing with regards to content based on your homework for last week? So do I need to make you a host? Do you want to share the screen? And you're still on mute, Lana.
I'll get there in the end. Honestly, it's what it is. It has been a very strange day. Right. Okay. I don't know if you can see this. So, yeah. So this is where I've got to really. So using that book, The More Than Words, I've started the kind of start of my pitch, if you like, for want of a better word. And this is a combination of the More Than Words book that Suzanne had put me onto, which is fab, and the words that were coming out of the session last week, which has sort of enabled me to start putting together the pitch to what the concierge services will look like. And you can see, I think Karen came up with this one, Drowning in the Sea of Misery and Panic. Staying on there, ready to, that should be ready to read your juicy blog posts. I think either you or Beth had come up with stress of a blank Canva. Yeah, so essentially I've just been playing around with this and then looking at what that might look like, and now I'm in a place that is now looking at the kind of assumptions based on what some of the content will be for that concierge service. It's a bit of a shocker actually, looking at some of the price points. Now obviously this one I actually don't think will meet or sit within my target market, because my target market are startups. But it's been really good to really look into what does that service look like and what would it offer and how much value can it give compared to, you know, a lot of the other stuff out there. I'm just going to admit Yvonne, because Yvonne's coming in. She's coming in now. So yeah, so that's literally where I've got to. And then the rest of it, I know this looks like a bit of a mess, but the rest of it for me was I'd done this little, which Cheryl will have seen. Hang on, let me get to it if I can find myself. There we go. Let's click on that one. So this was based on the exact words from last week's session, and then obviously with accountability session with Cheryl, we sort of added more in. But this has been a massive help, because I think, so I'll come on screen share a minute. So because I think why it's been a massive help is the power of everybody else's brain in brainstorming and getting the information and understanding how the constructing of an emotionally engaging sales page needs to be. So that's been a massive learning for me, which has been fantastic. And I think the second thing is it's made it so much easier to start putting the pieces into place, rather than sitting there struggling on your own thinking, oh my God, what next? I mean, I can remember when Cheryl and I, when we did your sales page, oh my God, it was like War and Peace, wasn't it? You know, and the length of time of having to go through every single section. Whereas being able to have done it like this last week has just become such a far more creative process, but B, so much easier. So that's where I got to with it.
Has it given you more confidence in your costing of things?
Definitely, because I think what it's done, because those words were so clear last week from everybody in this group, it meant when they were using those words, it's much easier to type in and go, what would be the average UK cost for this? What would be the average UK cost for this? What would be the average, you know? And by the time I got to the end of the kind of those keywords, all of a sudden it started emerging particular price points. If I was adding this and this, so it's almost like it becomes the pick and mix bag. You know, if I have a handful of that and one of those, and you know, remember those pink fluffy shrimps they used to get in the penny shop? And if I have one of those, and then if I get a couple of cola bottles, that's all going to come to that price. And that's exactly how it felt looking through those different concierge services. Those are the different configurations that could be on offer. And once I kind of understood that, then it was just a case of going back to Google and saying, okay, what other businesses are offering these types of services and how much are they charging? And it was a real eye-opener, because most of the, even if you would class them as the lower end businesses that support startups, you're already looking at £300 or £400, and that's just for like one post, and you're thinking, whoa, you know. And when you kind of want the all bells and whistles, and I thought, well, let's go flat out and look at the all bells and whistles. What would be the absolute starting point for that? And that's coming out at nearly £1,700, and you just think, wow, now you're kind of looking. So it has really helped to stop undercharging, but also keep it competitive whilst being able to create something a bit more unique. So it's been a really, really helpful. I can't tell you how grateful I am for last week's session, because that's just been massive for me.
I wonder as well, Lana, if in a way you're quite similar, and perhaps Suzanne can pitch in on this, to the services in a way that Fiona Scott is offering. Because I know Fiona works with the press and the media, but it'd be really good for you to trail Fiona Scott, because she's putting out an offer at the moment. I don't know if you've had it, Suzanne. It's almost like an hour with Fiona Scott.
It is, but what Fiona did initially was she started at £15, that she had a group of people, and she was giving sort of group advice. So for £15, she did it once a month, and I think that you could buy into it. But if you went, I didn't go on it, but I know people who did, and I got the feedback, and they said, wow, what we learned. But it's almost like she chose one person out of the group to focus on and to tell them how to progress. And in doing that, she then got more people who wanted to go into, she then ran some small groups of about, I think it was 10 people, the small groups. And in the small groups, you paid a lot more than that, but it was for a half day. It was something like £55 it was. And then she did a day one. So what she did was she got, for £15 and say 30 people, she got the same as she would in a one-to-one, but she's now at a stage that you can buy an hour of her time. But the people who are buying it are the people who already know what they can get from her. So for Lana to do that, you know, even if she did something, a recording that people could just have a listen to, a podcast or something, and buy into, you know, a £15 session. But now the one-to-ones, she's already booking up very, very quickly, and she's going to meet people. She's not just having people come to her, she will travel to them, and they'll pay her expenses for going to her, for her going to them.
I think the advantage that you have, I know perhaps Fiona's changed, but if in order for you to have a session with her, you would almost have to have a briefing session with her. And I just found that too expensive to have a briefing session with her before she did work for you, because her briefing sessions, just for her to understand what you were doing, I think were £500. And I couldn't warrant that, because I think £500 just for somebody to go through what it is that you do before they do any work for you. I felt that was a bit expensive.
That's what she did before COVID. But during COVID, that's when she started these on Eventbrite. that you could go in, you could have the sessions. So then she progressed, and then she's now got some amazing one-to-ones, and you have to book like 6 months ahead.
So at the moment she's doing an offer on Eventbrite. I think it's £150 an hour.
Yeah.
So it'd be good for you to see how she markets that, so that, because some people might just want to buy you for an hour as a one-off via an Eventbrite offer. Have you got the email, Suzanne? Did you get the email from her?
I'll have to look it up. I'll look and see if I've got. Yes, I will have it, definitely. Hang on. Because
it was a good opening title. The opening title is your business suffering a summer slump? Yeah. And is your business suffering from the usual August summer slump? I can help with that. I can help you get noticed, skyrocket your reputation, and attract new customers. Does that sound just what you need? If you want rocket fuel for your business by mastering your stories and being consistently visible with strategic PR, then book your own PR Power Hour.
Right. That is what she's. Oh, you can't see it properly. That is what she sent out just this month.
Yeah. All right.
And
okay.
So all of the things are, did you see it, is the last one that came in on the 23rd of August. So anybody who hasn't opened the email, she knows it's not been opened. So she said, are you okay? Did you see it?
And that's £149 plus VAT a power hour.
It's reduced to 99 plus that for a limited time only.
Right.
And that came through yesterday. Happy Monday morning.
And I think sometimes we're just afraid when it comes to these hourly rates to charge the going rate. So it's really interesting to see, how people are reading the climate out there and putting out their offers. But I think it'd be really good for you to see her marketing materials, Lana, because her Eventbrite offer is superbly laid out. So I think it'd be really good for you to have a look at it.
Don't tip it up though, because it'll come out of the hole. Couple of days break.
I think Yvonne is having some problems with her sound. Oh, you're host, aren't you, Lana? So can you?
No, she's muted herself.
I've muted.
All right, lovely. Okay. So it'd be really good for you to have a look at what Fiona's done, yeah? So Lana's on mute now.
Oh, honestly. Oh, it is. I'm giving up tonight. I'm just going to sit in my chair and just go in the corner.
If you want, Lana, I can forward you the last month's email so you can see the topic she's put into the people that are on her mailing lists.
Cool. Yeah, that would be really helpful, because I think it's good to see how the sequencing is for those touch points, which would be really good. So yeah, thank you.
Okay.
So Yvonne is now in and on camera, but I don't know if she can hear us. Can you hear us, Yvonne?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Hooray! So Yvonne is going to be joining us now on some Tuesday evenings when she's not so busy doing lots of other things. So Yvonne, would you like to introduce yourself to Lana and Suzanne, who are here this evening?
Yes, I'm Yvonne Hayes. I live in South East Wales, so I live just outside Newport. I'm a lecturer for the Open University, but I do run my own Forever Living aloe vera wellbeing business as well. And I also do some NLP and some parenting consultancy as well. So a bit varied. And I'm trying to write a book as well, in my spare time.
So Karen usually joins us on a Tuesday evening, and she's the self-publisher. So you'll meet her next time. So can you share with everyone what your big goals are for joining this group?
My big goals really are to stop faffing and actually achieve what I want to achieve. I would like, well, it's not I would like, I'm going to have 5,000 a month income, and I will have that by next spring.
And how do you intend to do that?
I intend to do that by, as I said, no more faffing, a bit more work on myself, and understanding that I used to think that I was too old to do this and too old to achieve. I now realise I'm not too old, I just come with experience and maturity. And so it's about me just looking at the things I think that have held me back till now and doing the same sort of thing, flipping those limiting beliefs into empowering statements so that I can just fly, really.
Fantastic. So I'm sure our ladies would like to give you perhaps an introduction of themselves or some feedback on what they've heard, because I think we've all walked similar roadways, pathways. So Suzanne, would you like to introduce yourself to Yvonne and perhaps share with her some of your insights that you've learned along the way?
Really?
Perhaps tell her how the first night you joined I Am Woman.
Oh my goodness. Oh, the first night I ever joined I Am Woman, it changed my life, is all I can say. It was when we used to have a meeting together, and there was probably about 30 people in the room in Swindon. And I went because I was just in a place I didn't know how to get out of. In a bad marriage, had a business that I was running quite successfully, but I just felt as though I needed some support. I didn't just get support. The night I walked in, I found a solicitor who was able to help me with my divorce. I had help from somebody who had been through a bad divorce and gave me advice and all of the things I would need to have safe. And the support I had from everyone in the room, and I didn't know a soul. I went away, well, I went there sort of thinking, oh God, I'm going there, what am I going to do? And I was, what, 58 then? Oh God, yeah. Many years ago now, been 66 in a few months. But the support network I've had all along the way has been absolutely amazing, because if you don't know how to do something, there's always somebody within the network who does know how to do it or knows somebody how to do it. There's an awful lot of people will share their skills and do skill swaps. So it doesn't always cost you what their skills are. So even if you're financially in a place where you're not able to pay, we all have something that is worth sharing or worth swapping, And so I divorced, I had a stroke, I was homeless, I was penniless, and I'm now happily married with a home I own, and I'm still with I Am Woman. I can't say any more than that.
Wow.
So I'm sure you can arrange a coffee and a catch up together. So Suzanne, perhaps you can sort of swap details in the chat box with Yvonne, and yeah you can have a coffee catch up. So over to you then, Lana. So Lana's been on Aspire more than ever any other person in the world.
Yeah, I need a badge for that, Cheryl. I definitely do. Yeah, definitely. So I'm Lana, former mental health social worker, delivered the social work degree program up at Alter Ego campus in Newport when it was Newport University. Got promoted, then got made redundant, then then retrained in beauty therapies, had already started doing holistic therapies, then got diagnosed with leukemia, then found colour coaching, colour therapy and colour mirrors, trained as a practitioner, and slowly but surely started going back to providing colour readings to help people shift sort of rubbish energy, really, that they were stuck and stuff was holding them back. and then kind of started moving more back into sort of coaching, and then met Cheryl, and then cried my eyes out on the first day of going to networking because it was so scary. All right, that's what I thought it was going to be in Bridgend, no, in Cardiff, and then actually came back and thought, oh my God, that was really good. So that was good fun. And then, yeah, so I kind of bimbled and bumbled along a bit with stuff, and then came to the conclusion probably beginning of this year, had a bit of a meltdown in December and decided that anxiety just doesn't float my boat anymore when it comes to anxiety coaching. So the courses are up. I've got a couple of more woo-woo courses on pendulum dowsing and stuff like that. But I had been learning how to create websites on WordPress, and then got into all that, and then finally pivoted this year into That Woman Tech. So now I provide a walk with you hourly tutorial with people who want to know how to build websites and do SEO and write blogs and pretty much anything techie and social media-y and any sort of technology that helps support them. Hence, I've got lots of happy gadgets going on.
So perhaps you can arrange a coffee and Zoom catch up together. So Lana, if you can pop your details in the chat box as well. So it'd be really interesting for you, Lana, to describe this group, because we used to have meetings, usually used to be about 30 people in a room. And when COVID struck, we jumped online, but it's a smaller group, but it's a very practical, nuts and bolts, I would say very much fast growth group of women who share incredible skills together. So perhaps you can share with Yvonne, practically what we do week to week when we jump online.
Well, anybody is involved, everybody's involved, and then anybody kind of has a chat with Cheryl and then presents or delivers something each week that kind of helps us all with our business growth. So I think what I omitted, which I shouldn't have done really, but because it's been part of the journey, has been coming on to the Aspire program. And the reason that I was on there 7 times, was partly a slow learner, but also we were trying to look at how to get Cheryl's program to a more online platform so that it can be delivered in other ways as well, or augmented and supported. But what kind of came out of the Aspire was then this support, more of this support. So those who had gone through the Aspire program were, turning up more frequently, weren't they, with tonight's groups or Tuesday group, and then a growing recognition that a lot of people out there, us as business owners and in our business and on our business and thinking about our business, the biggest area that we lack is accountability. It's really hard to kind of keep going when it's just yourself, to keep pushing forward and doing the work that you need to do, especially if you perhaps don't have the skill set in that particular area. So this group has become immense as a support mechanism, because if you don't know, somebody in the group does, or they know, as Suzanne said, or somebody else knows somebody who does. So you can always kind of connect up to get that bit of advice and expertise and the momentum to keep going, because everybody's so supportive in this group. Everybody is moving forward at their own pace, but there's those celebrations that happen every time, another thing's achieved, which is really, really cool.
And I think it's about us, instead of selling at one another, helping each other with the bigger picture, with the bigger goals, and almost like flowing through and past that person, because they're going to be connected with other people. So I think it's more about, like this evening, I'm not going to sell my retreats to any one of the 3 of you that are online this evening, but by you helping me shape my message, and it's going to hit thousands of people. So it's about looking at it in that vein. So on that note, I'm going to share my website page now, and I'd like you to critique it, please, and really critique it, because I'm open-armed and ready for feedback. So can you make me host again, Lana? I'm host now. Okay, so I'm going to share screen. Okay, so I've got to find my web page now. I've gone on to Fiona. Let's get rid of this. So here is the page that I've constructed for retreats. So I've changed my branding and I've popped that up in the corner. And I'd like your feedback as far as this title, Entrepreneurial Business Women Retreats. How does that sound to you? And the strapline, reflect, rejuvenate, and realign. And I put, and again, you know, I had great feedback from Lana. I had starts, and really it's launches because I've never done it before. So I've shifted it into I'm launching it. And again, it's, you know, am I getting enough feeling words in this advert? So book time away in a beautifully supported space, enjoying a comfortable balance of one-to-one fast growth business mentoring, relaxation retreats, delicious food and good company. And when I said to somebody, I said, who's the good company? And they said, it's you. And you forget that you're delivering it. And yes, it's time to focus on the big picture, yourself, your life and your business. So could I have some feedback on that first? Does it do what people would like to hear from a retreat?
The last line, yes, it's time to focus on the big picture, yourself, your life and your business. It's okay, but I think you can do far better than that.
Okay, what would sound better, do you think?
Well, I'm just looking at words. I just think that the end sentence doesn't match the words in the top. There's a mismatch between them, and I'm not sure what it is. So I mean, I might be wrong. It's just my personal thoughts.
Okay, Lana, what do you think? You're on mute, Lana. You're still on mute, Lana.
That's it, I'm done. Right. Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that's it's almost, I want to say it's almost like it's your time to escape to your own business or something like that, because retreats are about escape, aren't they?
Yeah.
And there's something slightly mysterious about when you go off on a retreat. And I don't know if you've seen that program on Amazon Prime, talk about a weird retreat. I'll have to give you the information about that. It's bloody weird. Nicole Kidman, it's very good though. But yeah, there's something about it's time, you know, isn't it your time to escape in order to connect with your and connect with your business or something?
What about fall back in love with your business? Or is that too woo-woo?
It makes the assumption that they've fallen out of love.
Okay.
Yeah, it does.
I like the reflect, rejuvenate and realign. I think that's really snappy and nice.
That's really
in a
good.
soft way.
What about then having the heading instead of entrepreneurial business women's retreats to your time to escape to, and then have reflect, rejuvenate, realign?
Or escape to your business women retreat.
I tell you what I heard today as well, retreat to yourself.
Nice.
But that entrepreneurial business women's retreat sounds hard, doesn't it?
It just sounds a bit boring.
Yeah.
And the irony is it won't be, because when it's with you, it won't be boring. But I think that sentence just makes it feel like another corporate kind of.
But business women's retreats, it doesn't sound personal enough. It's almost like it belongs to everyone.
Yeah. So what about time to escape to reflect, rejuvenate, realign? And I could put in fancy letters, time to escape to.
Or do you just need time to reflect, rejuvenate, realign? Because again, to me, escape means
You're running
you
away.
don't like where you are.
Mm.
So what's the consensus here? What would you put?
I'm just word searching.
And how do the photographs look to you?
I like the photographs. That's what hit me today.
Mm.
I liked them. Is the middle column meant to be smaller?
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay.
Does it throw the eye? Does it need to be the same size?
Well, when I've just gone to it, for me, it looked like the top middle, which I don't know who that person is. And isn't it strange? She's got the same top on as I've got tonight. Yeah, it just looks as if it's shrunk because I didn't pick up the bottom one. Now I've seen
right.
both.
Oh,
you see what I mean?
didn't see the bottom one either. I thought
Yeah.
it was just the top one. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Even them out.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah.
And if I was being really super picky, after you put relaxation treats, you've got a gap between S and the comma.
Oh, yes.
Sorry. And I know how much work that's going to be, and I'm really sorry I said that.
No, it's all being changed anyway, so there's no problem at all.
Now, I've just found selling yourself achievements for retreats. Words that have come up: accelerate, accessible, what's it? Oh, a lot of them are no good. Brainstormed, but these are words you would use within the words. Determined, established, evaluate, expand, explore, formulated, implement, instituted.
Ooh.
I like that word. I don't know what it means, but I like it.
So throw any words you like that could relate to retreats.
Yeah, I'll throw them up when I find them.
So what about the rest of it? Book time away in a beautifully supported space. Enjoy a comfortable balance of one-to-one fast growth business mentoring, relaxation treats, delicious food and good company. And Lana gave me an amazing idea following last week. Lana messaged me and said, "What? Because they have 2 evenings where they're here alone, really, for them to recharge and use the facilities in the garden of the spa and the breeze house." But Lana said, "What? Because they have 2 rooms, they have their own room and their own sitting room here. I could market that they could have like somebody come here and do a facial for them, or a back massage, or hot stone massage, so they can really have some lovely treats in the evening as well as using the facilities here." So I'm going to be adding that in as well. And it's one of those things, until you put something out, people don't give you feedback on it, because it's one of those things people have got to see what you're doing to give you some constructive feedback. So I'd like you to bear in mind perhaps some words I need to pull this together.
I like entrepreneurial, I just don't like business. I mean, entrepreneurial women's retreats.
Yeah.
Business is quite cold, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where entrepreneurial is more positive and a bit more a bit more go-getting.
Yeah.
Do you think it would also, missing business out would bring more people in? Because it would, some people think of business as being almost sitting down to desk, whereas entrepreneurial, you're talking about cross-section of every woman.
Business is a bit corporate, isn't it?
So I'm just going to whisk through the rest of it because I'm aware of time. I've called them down here. This is what I started with: life lifting retreats. Does that make sense? And I've called them one-to-one business retreats there, helping you fall back in love with your life.
I personally am not keen on the life lifting retreats
Okay.
because it doesn't marry in with the entrepreneurial of the beginning.
Okay.
That's me
yeah.
personally.
Life focusing.
Yeah, I'm going to focus on that. And then I've gone down then to running a business can be a constant energy busting challenge. So I've put some photographs in there. I don't know if they resonate with you. My retreats focus on, so this is some feedback I had from somebody and I used their feedback, and she said, you know, the difference between these retreats is that you are focusing on other people's goals and outcomes. This isn't you're coming along and just being taught things. This is all focusing on the person. So my retreat is just focus on your goals and outcomes, about having intimate one-to-one time away, totally focused upon your needs, your business, and getting the support you need to work on your challenges with a seasoned professional. Does that sound okay to you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds good. One of the words that has come up for female business people is caress. Even when it's in business, do you somehow put caress in?
All right, okay.
Because it's soft, but it also encapsulates lots of things. You could use that word for a lot of things.
And then I've put about the retreat location, okay? And I've had negative feedback about this. My friend said, Melanie Squire, she said, if somebody is spending £1,000 on a retreat, they're going to assume the location is what it should be, and I don't need to spend so much time describing it. But I was thinking, if somebody's spending £1,000 to have 3 days away, then they would want to know more about the house and facilities.
I think, well, personally, I like that because you can't assume that everybody's going to come from a local area. They could be coming from Brighton, they could be coming from Scotland,
Yeah.
in which case they would need to have kind of signpost as to what it might look like that they're going into. You know, they could, if you put nothing, you could end up, you know, saying, okay, well, you're spending £1,000 and end up in, you know, a B&B in Weston. Do you know what I mean? Because if you don't give them something to look to, some visuals and some descriptive, I think otherwise it just becomes slightly too vague.
But you can pay £1,000 and you can be in a 5-star hotel, but it's not personable. You know, you could be part. I think having that and saying they're paying for you, they're not paying for the services they're going to get when they're there. So this is an additional, it's almost enhancing the fact that you have got the skills to make their business really do well. But in that space and the time they're there, they're going to have the comfort. They're going to have this, you know, staying in their own space within this. So yeah, I think that's nice.
I think what I'll do as well, I'll do a separate page that's more about the property and create a link from here and perhaps cut it down slightly. But I don't think I could take the whole thing away because I think people would be interested in it. So again, I'm testing out the different images. So again, I've called it Life Lifting Retreat, but again, I'll take your feedback on that. And I agree, it needs to be more aligned to one heading. Then I put about me, because they're going to be working with me, because I'll be their retreat host and mentor. I said that it's limited availability, so the scarcity part of it. Then I take them through the itinerary for the days itself, what they'll be doing on each part of the day. But what do you think of the visuals when you see them like that? Are they enough, do you think? Are they putting over the brand? Am I missing some images? What would you like to see?
Right, if I'd never seen it before, I guess the only thing I would say is it looks beautiful, and I can see that I'm going to be well looked after in the comfort of your home, but I'm not seeing a huge amount of the business side of the images. What?
So the business is there, but you think that needs to be more up?
Or at least balanced, because it's both, isn't it? They get this intensive business focus, and then they get this space that they can just detox, defrag, deprocess, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just relax. So I think it's just getting a little bit more, a few more pictures that are more businessy tasks, activities that, you know, that just augment it better, so gives that sort of better balance.
Would it be better if you put the business side first, to say
that's a good point there, Suzanne.
put the business side first, and then go on to say these are, you know, this is what you will experience during this period, sort of thing. So and then it is definitely separate, because you find that within that, you know, I've already relaxed, I've got my feet up, I don't want to work.
Yep, got that. And then I've put the packages of what they can do, and then I put a testimony at the end. So that's how I've put together that sales page. And I'm so grateful for your feedback, because I've realized I've got almost, like I would say, another couple of days work to do on that, but I'm not marketing it actively until next week. So I've got until the end of this week to get that aligned. How do you feel my brand is coming over? Because before, I Am Woman was quite a stark brand. It was black and pink or black and red. And I feel as though I've been really courageous, you know, to have stood by my guns, that I wanted to go for this clover and purple and white, and completely switch brands, and then having to incorporate, you know, the I Am Woman brand. So I've changed the I Am Woman brand as well. And, you know, it's been a massive redesign of the website to go all clover and purple. So there's the I Am Woman. So this is the Fast Growth Business Hub. So you can see how it's all changed over the last weeks. But I was saying to Lana, you know, I'm so grateful for the skills I've developed in this group, particularly, you know, from Lana, because as Lana said, I've built a £9,000 website here. You know, I couldn't afford to spend 9,000. But, you know, even say that I've got 3 pages I know I've got to build, that would cost me probably £1,000 if I had to employ somebody to do that for me. And it's all this back and forth business that would need to happen as well. So, you know, I'm really grateful for all the skills I've learned. So I'd love your feedback. You know, how does this relate to you and your brand? Because you can see I've been really courageous with this. I've done a whole brand shift. I've done a whole color shift. I've done a whole website redesign, developed new products. So I'd love your feedback, if not about this, then perhaps how you could relate it to your own business. I'll come to you first, Suzanne.
Well, because I've seen from the I Am Woman colours and everything and how it's progressed, I feel that the change is amazing. I love the colours. I feel that they're a corporate woman colours. I really enjoy the change of everything. But when you're looking at your retreat side, there's a softness in there, but the words are quite dynamic. So although it's sort of, you want to go in to pamper yourself, but the words are telling you exactly what you're going to get and what you're going to come away with. And I think that's very important.
And on the subject of accountability, you know, I knew I had to get that page finished. And okay, it isn't finished because I've now realized I've got another 3 days work. As soon as you put it out to people, you realize you've got a shed load of work coming back. But I'm really grateful. I've done all my learning on the slopes now before it goes out to market. So accountability is so important because it pushes you to get it done. So over to you, Lana. You know, what are your observations?
I love it. I think it's a far softer yet impactful imagery, the whole kind of feel of it. And I think it's because I think sometimes I think you forget that when people are coming into, I know the Aspire program is also as part of this, you know, you are very good at connecting with people who actually, if they're in a mess, you know, if they're in that feast or famine, if they're at model, if they're just starting out and their business is bummed, if they're got themselves into all sorts of difficulty, you do have a very strong, soft but firm side to get them past the emotional bit and start looking at, right, how do we sort the numbers out? And I think that's coming across far more in this, I feel personally, than your previous branding, because I felt that it was just too kick-ass and not enough of your nurturing bit as well and the balance of it. So I think this one's far more balanced about who you are. So I think you've done amazing. It's brilliant.
Thank you. Over to you, Yvonne. So what are your thoughts?
I like the colours. I think the colours are quite nurturing. I'm aware of the previous colours you had, you know, which were the reds and the blacks, and they are, yeah, quite hard, aren't they? And I think that colour just makes you feel a bit more welcome.
So we're going to jump on you now, Yvonne. We want to help you. So be really nice for Yvonne to put out there, you know, what she feels her challenges are going to be in the next year. And we'd all like to explore how we can help you reach those challenges. So do you want to introduce to the group we know what you want your outcomes to be, but what do you feel your challenges are likely to be in building these teams that are going to bring in the income for you?
I think my main challenge is, where do I find my new team members? Pre-COVID, it was quite nice to get out and about. I did lots of different fairs, and you can, while you're talking about the products, it's a great opportunity to talk about the business as well. Since going online, the products have gone online quite well, because we've done lots of launches online. We've carried on doing a lot of the sort of business launch, the product launches online, and they go quite well. So that has moved online quite nicely. So the product turns over quite nicely, although I would like to sell a lot more product without being spammy and pushy. But for me, it's finding the right target audience and how, again, to attract people to just take a look at my business opportunity without being pushy or spammy. You know, because you can build relationships with people on social media, but at what point then do I think, right, now I'm going to approach them about the business, or do I just carry on just being nice and friendly with them for years and years and years and getting absolutely nowhere?
So tell people about the recognition in you building your tribe that we've already had.
Right, what was that?
So before, you recognized that perhaps you weren't building a tribe, so that because now when you're building your team is recognizing you're building a tribe of like-minded women.
That's true. I mean, when I first started, I mean, I've been in Seven for years, and I came in really to purchase the products as a customer and to get them cheaper. A couple of years ago, I looked at my pension and thought, oh my God, I can't retire on that. But I thought, well, I'm sitting on a business. So I looked to people around me who were successful. One was a very yummy mummy. I thought, right, that's what I need. I need yummy mummies. So you know, you link with lots of yummy mummies and you talk to them and you think, well, that's great, but nobody's joined. And then I thought, oh, the other girl who's successful, ex-police, great. I will target ex-police. Nobody joined. But the people I have been successful in taking on board are people who are like me. They're people probably in their sort of 50s who are maybe empty nesters, people who are deciding what to do next. Does their pension give them enough? What is their new role? You know, I've been a mum, perhaps I've been a businesswoman, I've been in the corporate world, I don't want it anymore, I'm looking for a change, but I need to jump. But where do I find these people?
Okay, and can you share with Lana and Suzanne a little bit about this revelation of your story? And
Oh,
how
my
we...
story. My 12th cracker. You know, I spent 3 hours Friday night looking for that poem, and I don't think it exists. And I thought, you know what, as an ex-primary teacher myself, I always wrote my own Christmas concerts, and I'm thinking, I bet she wrote that herself. Anyway.
So do you want to tell the story to people?
For the
what
other two,
happened
you
in the
won't know
coaching?
what the 12th cracker is. When I was about 6 or 7, I was in a school Christmas concert, I suppose, and we were doing a poem. We were presenting a poem, and it was a poem about 12 crackers in a box. And these 12 crackers were lovely and sparkly, and they had lovely ribbons on, and they had nice toys inside, and a lovely motto and a bright hat. But the 12th cracker had no pop and was left in the box. And I was the 12th cracker. And for the past 55 years, I have at the back of my head, every time I try to achieve something, I think, no, I can't, because I'm the cracker that doesn't pop. And that has held me back. Also, I'm an only child, and I always think, I hate being on my own. And again, that 12th cracker not only had no pop, but was on its own in the box. And since, I mean, I've told nobody that story till last week when I told it to Cheryl. Not even my husband had heard that story. I have told it several times since. And I thought, well, actually, you know, you focus on what I've realized over the week is that I focused for 55 years on the negatives of that cracker. It had no pop. And that has held me back. Because every time I think I'm just about to achieve something really great, I think, no, 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 you don't pop. It's not you. You're not the one who does this. But if you think about it in a different way, that cracker was still really shiny. It still had beautiful ribbons at each end of it. It still had a lovely toy inside. It had a bright coloured hat inside. It had a very, you know, lovely motto or a funny joke. And what have I concentrated on for 50 odd years? The fact that it didn't have a snap and it didn't pop. And so, yes, that made me realize that actually, that's just one aspect, isn't it, you know, of me. And the rest of me, you know, is still beautiful. I still have good things inside. I can still have perhaps a funny joke in me. I may have some good mottos that I can share. On the outside, I can still be sparkly with nice ribbons. And, you know, it would be a boring world if we were all popping all the time, wouldn't it? So
I'd love some feedback, because I know Lana's really engaged with that story. So Lana, would you like to offer some feedback?
She's on mute.
Yeah, I think that's a really lovely story, but also I think that actually you're very unique. You know, why would you want to pop? That 11 others do that. You want to do something different.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, no, I think that's just such a lovely story, but also, yeah, you are the unique one.
Yeah, and I said, you know, all the other crackers, they just went through pre-ejaculation. You've got this to come.
Yeah, they all peaked too soon, and I've certainly not peaked too soon. I'm way too mature to be peaking too soon.
Over to you, Suzanne. What would you like to add?
Yeah,
I know you
follow
love
that.
stories.
Well, I'd rather not. Yes. One of the things I was thinking of was when you're looking for members for your team, Have you thought about going on your local Facebook for the area you live? There'll be a local buy, sell and whatever Facebook page. In our area, we've got 8 Facebook pages. Each of them have up to 12,000 members. And you can buy, sell, you can promote your business all for free. And you've got a market or audience there. You know, you've got an audience that everyone every day is going, looking, seeing what's for sale, what's happening.
Yeah. I'm on quite a few of those. We're quite... it must be the area I live in, but a lot of these that I have been on for several years have now changed their rules, if you like, and anybody who's part of a network marketing company, which Forever is, they're deleted.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
a friend of mine who she's regularly on, she is Body Shop?
Yeah.
And at the beginning of lockdown, what she did was she got people to buy hand creams, and she donated them to the to all the nurses. So
Yes, I did that as well.
But she got lots of people wanting to sell Body Shop because of it. She also runs. She was running a, oh God, what's it called? And you pick a number, and she would put one of her products up, and you picked a number, and you would win it. So say, and the amount you paid £1, sorry, for a number or 2 numbers or something. And she did that for weeks. She's only just stopped doing it because she's too busy. And she's also now running her team, her tribe.
I'm going to
So it was like a raffle. That was it. What she put on every week.
Yeah.
So people were asking, what night's the raffle on? She did the raffle live as well. So they'll be ticking, and they paid it by PayPal.
So thank you for that, Suzanne. So perhaps you guys can meet and have an on Zoom coffee and perhaps go through the detail of that. I'm going to come to Lana as far as the perhaps Lana can ask some really sharp questions about perhaps how Yvonne could be using IT in order to reach this tribe that she's looking to build.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess you're probably doing this already, but the Forever Living products and the experience I've had of them, because I've purchased them in the past, because my partner, he's got very bad psoriasis. So we're constantly on the lookout for products that are natural, that don't have any chemicals in it, that are, reasonably priced, that are easy to use. So presumably you've already got an Instagram post, because if you're showcasing the products first and foremost, which means you've got a direct link straight back to, have you got a website, did you say that you've got?
Yes, I have,
products online.
Yeah.
So presumably you're already doing that. The other thing I would suggest is, although you mentioned about going into the groups, there is nothing to stop you just direct messaging saying, I'm great to see your comment in the group. Have you thought about, earning, extra money to top up your pension, to, give you extra treats now that your teenagers may have moved out. If it is of interest to you, please message me back. Now, some people just won't bother because they'll think, but you've earned the right to do that if you've been commenting in groups and offering free guidance and advice around what products might help them if they're in those Facebook groups. So that also stops you from being pushy and spammy. And then I guess the other thing is get testimonials from people that have bought products off you. What did they like about the products that you have they bought off you, and why? And would they recommend going through the experience of purchase with you? Because they will be your sort of, what do they call that word? Low-hanging fruit, isn't it? If they've already purchased off you, they've already got an interest in the product anyway. presumably if you've got the online stuff, it's going through an e-commerce system, so you will be accessing their information, their address, name and email, and presumably you've already got a box that says receiving marketing information from us. So if that's the case, I would just do an email sequence with your 7 touch points, you know, benefits of the products, why these products might be beneficial to particular ailments, etc., and then why well-being is important with these products, and then, you know, yes, you've seen our latest, or have you seen our latest offers, and then how would you like to become a seller, or how would you like to join the Forever Living family? Is
So
my
I think
view.
there's going to be lots of things that, you know, they're going through my head. So Lana mentioned Instagram account. Do you have an Instagram account, a personal Instagram?
I do have an Instagram account, but I don't use it.
Okay, so we know there needs to be. So do you have a social media marketing plan?
I do. I have a Facebook, a few Facebook groups. I have my own personal page. I have a customers VIP group. And I'm on LinkedIn as well, but I don't use it. I mean, I'd like to use Instagram. It's just not a platform I've ever used or know what to do with, really.
Okay. And so that when it comes to social media, how are you doing any lives or?
Yeah, I do lives on a regular basis. I usually do a Fab Friday on a Friday. I do one of my favorite Friday. So I pick up one of my products and just do a little live about it, why I like it, why other people like it, some of the benefits, and especially if it's on offer that week. I've done summer essentials at the beginning of the summer, where we went through every day a different product, and then there were special offers then for people who'd, you know, commented perhaps during the week.
Okay.
When we got to the Friday.
So are your tactics then to get somebody to use the products before getting them to be part of your tribe? So which way around does it go? Are you marketing for your tribe?
I think I'm focusing on customers.
Okay.
And I think my main product problem is probably that I have been focusing on customers, and therefore promoting products, getting people to try them, getting people to buy them, and that, like I say, has been quite successful. But that will only tick your business over to a certain extent. You know, to grow, I need a team of people doing what I do.
And it's almost a different message, isn't
my
it?
focus.
Yes. Yeah. So it's a different message. So based on that, the fact that perhaps, you know, so when it comes to your Instagram, you're probably selling the product, not the opportunity.
Yeah.
When it comes to, are you doing any email campaigns? Are you speaking directly to people? So it'd be really interesting when Beth comes online next Tuesday, because Beth runs very much a close marketing campaign based on relationships and based on email campaigns. But it's really important that you work out what you're selling, because that, you know, it should lead what you're saying and your mode of accessing them. So, and to come back to you, Lana, so based on that, and based on, you know, the fact that Yvonne's been almost selling the wrong product to the wrong people, what advice would you be offering?
Hang on.
You're on mute.
Oh dear me. I would actually go back through your sales reports to look at your repeating customers, because they're going to be the next step ones that will be maybe interested in becoming distributors themselves, which would be your team growth.
Yes, and a lot of team members do come from the customer base. Yeah.
And also, if they do, then why don't you get them to email to refer a friend?
Yeah, we do get referrals. Yeah, there is quite a good perk to being referred.
So perhaps it's looking at a new
Mm.
technique to get to this tribe customer as opposed to selling the products.
And I think probably it's more about as well being consistent and just keeping at it, really.
Yeah.
But that's when your schedulers will come in. So if you're not a massive, all right, maybe you're not a massive Instagram fan, the best way, and what I've been learning over the last couple of months really, is if you take some time out to batch your social media, schedule it, and then you don't have to worry about it. So I've been doing it where I have one day a month now where I just batch everything across all the bits and pieces that I do. And then I know they just go out twice. I mean, I've got things going out twice a day, every day, Monday to Friday. I don't post on the weekends because I do think people, need a break. But it also saves my headache of running around trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah, I have got a schedule. I haven't used it for a couple of months, but I used to do it every Monday morning, and I would schedule all my posts for that week. Or I do it on a Sunday night and schedule them for the week then.
So we will be holding you accountable, Yvonne, to getting this stuff.
I'll get that scheduler back up and running.
Over to you, Suzanne. Any tips? Suzanne's on mute. She's coming off
I'm
mute.
off mute. I've caught it from Lana. Oh, I can't think of any tips. But the one thing I will say that I came up with when I was reading through Words That Sell for anybody really, one of the biggest selling sentences is "Together we can."
Ooh, love it.
Ooh.
And it's almost like they've bought in.
Yeah,
love that.
I like that.
And there are lots more, so watch this space.
Right, I'm going to pull the evening together, ladies. First of all, I want to thank you all, even though you've created me having to do 3 more pages on my website and me having to do all new visuals, and I've got a typo in there and all that kind of stuff. And the fact that it's almost like you're too close to it. The fact that the business side is in the middle and it should be at the beginning. Yeah, it should be the business case first. So I've learned where I've gone wrong with that page. So thank you so much for that, because it means when I put it right, it's going to be right. And when people read it, they're going to be buying. Yeah, that's the key to it. So I'm going to come to you, Yvonne. This is your first business growth session, and we're already making you accountable for using a scheduler. So I do apologize, but we are kick off with one another. So what have you got from this evening for you?
I've got again a bit of a reminder that I am unique and that I can do this, which is quite good. And I have got actually some tools that I just don't use on a regular basis, like my scheduler.
Yeah, fab.
And I need to just do that.
Right. And also make contact with Suzanne and Lana, because once you, even if you just sit for an hour having a coffee, once you really start talking, then the energy flows and the ideas flow. Yeah. So I know you've all swapped phone numbers, so that could be another accountability piece when you come online next week. Have you met? Okay. Coming to you, Suzanne, what have you got out of this evening for you?
Well, lots of things. The main thing, you're never too old to start. But everyone's story I've actually written quite a lot of notes from everybody's thoughts. So that is going to be implemented into things I've got on the go this week. And I've actually learned quite a bit from Yvonne and how she describes things, which has been really good. But on a one-to-one, I'll tell you about that.
That's intriguing.
Lovely.
Right, lovely. Thank you, Suzanne. Over to you, Lana. What have you got out of this evening for you?
I always trust Suzanne's book recommendations because they do work and they're amazing. But yeah, no, I did really enjoy your cracker story, Yvonne, I have to say. And there's a part of me that wants to just say, just don't worry about the 11 that popped and pinged and did all their thing. You go for being unique and you. So yeah. And then, yeah, learning wise, I think actually you're modeling a really good method, Cheryl, in terms of, getting from a website perspective, getting stuff up, because I think, when you are that close, when one is that close, it can become so, what's the blinkered, that's the word I'm looking for. So when you've got other people that are, not so close to it, it's really helpful because they pick up things really quickly.
Yeah.
So certainly something that I'll be employing as a result of that.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, ladies. So next week, I think we should have a focus on this book, Words That Sell. Yeah. Suzanne's got the book, Words That Sell. Lana's got
the same one.
Lana's got the more words that sell.
It's the same book.
I think it probably is. Yeah.
So I think it'd be really good for us to bring a sample of what we're putting out to our audience, whether it's a social media post, whether it's a blog, whether it's website copy. Lana gave me a suggestion for one of the first blogs I should write is why should women go to a retreat? So that's going to be my accountability piece. It's going to be I'm going to write a blog, and I'm going to get hold of that book. I'll order it this evening, and I'm going to pull out as many words that they say in there that sells and present it to you and see what you think. So that's my accountability piece for next week. I'm going to do a blog. So Suzanne, what could you do that I'm going to hold you accountable around these sales words?
Sales words. If somebody can throw some things to me that they want changing, and I'll see what the book says. If they can throw it to me before, that's better. Okay. I've just been looking at a page, heads and slogans, and one of the top ones is a something for all seasons.
Oh,
yes. I was thinking of you for that. And another thing, the way that they word it, you probably thought you couldn't afford a.
Yeah, lovely.
It's a different way of selling. Telling them you probably thought you couldn't afford.
I know you can. Fab. Thank you, Suzanne. So we can use you in between getting this done as almost like a thesaurus for us.
Yes.
Fab. Thank you. Lana, what do you want to be held accountable for next week?
So I need to get the concierge service attached to the rest of thatwoman.tech. So that does mean that I need to start creating a page for that. So that's one thing that I need to do. And then on Suzanne and our project, we've got a deadline for something, so I need to get that done. And the final thing I think really is then I need to get back to this affiliate marketing, the affiliates, because I've done terms and conditions now, which was fantastic. But I now need to do the onboarding process. So I need to get that sorted.
And I know Yvonne is very interested in generating income via affiliate marketing. So again, perhaps that's something you can have a chat about in your one-to-one, yeah? So over to you, Yvonne. What can I hold you accountable for next week? What are you going to do? A social media post or something?
I'm going to get my scheduler back up and running so that I can plan all those posts in advance. That will be hugely time empowering. And I'm going to do some lives actually about the benefits of the business and how that's been a benefit to me rather than focusing on, the benefits of the products.
Okay.
I'm going to do a live about the business.
Can you pull together a social media post so that, again, we can look at these words and help you with the sales words for that social media
Yeah.
post.
Yeah.
And then we can weave through, you know, all these magic words that sell, so that when you're putting them out on a scheduler, you know, you're going to hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Fab. Wow. What an action-packed evening, and more action-packed for next Tuesday. And I'm sure people will be coming back from their holidays, and we'll ask them to chip in and help us. Yeah. Isn't that wonderful? We'll have more people helping us. Yeah. We are the focus. Yeah. So together we can do this. And it's support for any season whatsoever. I'm just trying to use some of your words, Suzanne. So thank you, ladies. Enjoy the rest of the week. And I look forward to seeing you online next Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock. And I'm sure we'll touch base before then. So good night, everyone. Enjoy the rest
Good
of the
night.
evening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.